Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing a quiet, sick, no-cam Foundations draft. Without further ado, let's get into the draft. This will be the final Magic Foundations draft of the Premier Draft Flashback Draft season. We'll be doing one more Cube draft tomorrow, and then we have the Avatar: The Last Airbender Early Access event, which is very cool. Pretty excited for that. But anyways, that should be a lot of the way. Let's get back into drafting here. We got an excellent pack 1, pick 1 rare. 2 mana for a 2/2 Flying Vigilance is an incredible rate already. And there are more angels in the set at all rarities. There's commons, uncommons, and rares that we can play around with Giada and get extra counters on. So very happy to pack 1, pick 1 a Giada here. We could stick to white, taking Resolute Reinforcements and flood the board with multiple bodies, which is pretty good. Think Twice is solid card out of the blue. I don't mind taking that pretty early as well. But there's also the Vampire Gourmand here, one of my favorite of the black uncommons, and it does play really well in a black-white deck because white has access to cards like Resolute Reinforcements and Helpful Hunter, stuff that's little 1/1s that have good enter the battlefield effects or creature token providers, stuff like that to sacrifice to the Gourmand. So I'm a little interested in hopping into that 2-color pair. I think I shall. Pick number 3. This is a clear Progenitus, obviously. No, we'll take Eaten Alive here. Excellent removal spell out of black. Vanguard Seraph is perfectly reasonable to take here. Normally not an incredibly high pick for white, but when you have Giada, goes up quite a bit in the pick order. But we've got the Gourmand as well, get a great removal spell, make sure we have access to some interaction, disrupt our opponent's terrifying cards. Pick number 4, speaking of picking up removal and interaction, I don't mind Joust Through here. It's not the most flexible, it only kills stuff with 3 or less toughness, generally speaking, and only attacking or blocking creatures, but it makes up for that with efficiency and good synergy for the black-white color pair, because you can have some cards in this color pair that trigger every time you gain life to give you some extra value, so I really don't mind Joust Through here. Every other black or white card, though, is perfectly reasonable as well. They're all solid in their own homes. I think Soul Shackled Zombie would make the most sense in black-white because, again, you can have a Johnny's Pridemate style cards getting buffed up every time you gain life. There's even a Signpost uncommon. It's like a black-white, like Panda Bear or something. That gets bigger every time you gain life. Wow, blue is open. Mischievous Mystic, Refute. But there's also a really good white spell here with Helpful Hunter, of which we already have Giada and Joust Through towards, so I'm just going to take the really good white spell, but Mystic is very tempting. It's definitely Hunter over Refute, because these are equally powerful. We take the on-color one, but Mystic is stronger than Helpful Hunter. It's a pretty busted card. You know what? I mean, if we're going to be getting cards like Mischievous Mystic pick 5, that means we know we're going to get Great Blue in pack 3 as well. I'm going to take Mischievous Mystic here. And that means we get to take Spectral Sailor here or Stab. Maybe get pushed off white. We only took Giada and Joust Through so far, 2 white spells. But again, there was a pick 5 Helpful Hunter, so it's not completely cut. Stab is a solid sign for black, Burst Lightning's a solid sign for red, but Sailor's a solid sign for blue that follows the Mischievous Mystic, which is a huge sign as well as a great synergy. Strix Lookout's another card that synergizes really well with that Mischievous Mystic, and there's really not anything else in this pack. This pack has nothing good, and so no signals really. Pick 8 Eaten Alive and pick 8 Burst Lightning. Wow. The white has vanished, which is worth noting, so the Mischievous Mystic over Helpful Hunter may have been a very good pick in hindsight. I'm going to grab the Eaten Alive here. It is much better than Strix Lookout and pretty equally powerful to Burst Lightning, so we take the on-color one there. Infestation Sage plays really well with the Eaten Alives. It's also solid in like a Flyers strategy, which is what it looks like we're doing here. Plays really well with Gourmand. Yeah, Sage has a lot of synergy already. Think Twice is very good with Mischievous Mystic. And just a solid card in general. Progenitus is an MVP. Windmill Slam, played in every deck. And we'll see what we open up in pack number 2. Extravagant Replication is very fun, but also very, very slow. You have to cast this on turn 6. You affect the board not at all the turn you play it. It's not till the next upkeep that it does something. So tap out on turn 6 for absolutely no impact till your next turn. Can be pretty narrow and pretty hard to do. But again, if you have the time to do that, it will likely win the game. There's also another Eaten Alive, which I kind of want to take here. But Brineborn Cutthroat would also be very nice. The Brineborn Cutthroat playing very well with the Think Twice, and if we get any of the refutes and stuffs later. Fiendish Panda is that black-white panda bear I was talking about that gets all those life gain triggers if we were still in black-white, but I'm much happier being in blue-black with the way this draft has gone. I'm just going to take a third Eaten Alive. Hopefully blue's open enough if somebody takes Replication, and then we wheel the flash creature. Another copy of Infestation Sage looks great for us. Again, we've listed out the many synergies we have now, having 3 copies of Eaten Alive for it. Very happy being in black. We'll grab a bacon to a pie on this one. We have no zombies yet, and there's not a lot of like really good zombies for Zula, sure. So they're like a cool rare, but not one that happens to be particularly powerful that often. Pick 4 is pretty weak for our main colors. There's a very solid white card. I think that's the strongest card in the pack. My pick order here, regardless of colors, probably fell at our savior number 1, bite down number 2. Pilfer and Gorehorn Raider kind of tied for 3. It's probably Gorehorn Raider over Pilfer, but again, we're in blue-black and we're pretty locked in here, so I guess we get the 4th best card. Ooh, Arbiter of Woe is a card that I like, and we've got double Infestation Sage, Mischievous Mystic making tokens to hardcast it, and this is the kind of card that makes Zombify playable. Normally I wouldn't just like run a Zombify, but if I've got multiple Arbiters, this is a really good card to reanimate. You don't have to sack a creature if you reanimate it from your grave, so that can be massive impact in the late game. Burglar Rat, another card that works really well with the Eaten Alives and the Arbiter of Woe and stuff, but we have no finishers right now, so we'll grab the finisher and then hope to find more Burglar Rat style cards later. And we do. There's a Burglar Rat in this pack, and we just took a card that really wants more of these fiddly cheap creatures to sacrifice. Pick number 7, another Pilfer and Evolving Wilds. I'm not the biggest Pilfer fan. It's just playable if you don't make 23 other non-land cards, so I'll just take Evolving Wilds on that. Not a big Crypt Feaster fan. I will grab Speculative Fixing instead, because we are seeing good white come late as well. Blood Thief's fine. Plays well with cards like Strix Lookout and Mischievous Mystic. 1 and 2 mana flyers. Any evasive early play into the Blood Thief. It's a good way to get this snowballing into a giant creature. I think I would rather take Shriek Mass than Goldvein Pick here. Blue-black's a good threshold color pair. Wow, Eaten Alive, Infestation Sage still. Inspiration's okay as well, but I'm going to go Sage on this. We've got triple Eaten Alive already. Just really make sure we have the fodder for all the different sack cards we have. 3 Eaten Alive, Gormand, and Arbiter of Woe. Soul Shackled Zombie's not a bad card at all. Are we going to play the exact same deck we played the first time? Blue, black, splash, a double red? It's unlikely, but we do have 1 Evolving Wild. And we're not really missing anything out of this pack, speculating on the Flame Shaper. I mean, the Arcane Epiphany is the biggest miss.
Don't start the fight without me.
Take this Chandra and take every red duel we possibly see. Another Gormand looks really good here, with all these Infestation Sages. And the Mischievous Mystic combos with that too. Yeah, I like the Gormand, but this is a very good pack. Hungry Ghoul, Think Twice are also good. And Empyrean Eagle would be splashable off the Baron's Evolving Wilds. Plays well with the Mystic and our cheap flyers, so that's interesting too. Not seen any red dual lands. Take a refute out of this one. Tragedy. Alright, we'll take Burglar Rat here. I mean, Triple Sage, we've got a real good amount of 1/2 mana creatures. I could probably get away with refute over Burglar Rat here. I think I'm gonna do that. It's not a red duel either. So sad the Chandra really didn't work out. Should have taken just a boring little draw 3. I would have taken red duels over basically any card that we've taken so far this pack to try to get the Chandra in, but it's just not going to happen here. Another filler finisher, I guess. Just got the one of those right now. We only need like one more card. Have our deck all ready. Let's go. Another Burglar Rat. Yet another Burglar Rat. Sure, we'll go 3 Sages and 3 Rats. I'll cut Pilfer for a third Burglar. Oh, there's the red duel, though. That would be 1 red duel, though. 1 Bloodfell Caves and 1 Evolving Wilds to try to play the double red Chandra. Yeah, that's not enough. We've seen every other pack and none of the other duels were red, so we would have a single red duel and a single Evolving Wilds, which I don't think is enough. Run away together with triple Burglar Rat's not bad, but blue-black duel is perfect. This is a good Hungry Ghoul deck, and we've seen a lot of Soul Shackled zombies this pack, so I think there'll be one of them later that we get to grab and have one of each here, but I could be wrong on that. Yeah, I guess they could just get drafted. Yeah. Alright, well. We got a 5-drop instead of another 4, which is fine as well. That fills out the curve well. That Vampire Soul Caller. It's a good card with the Blood Thief. 3 cuts to play a 17 land deck, and I think we certainly do want to play a 17 land deck. I think we have enough good sack stuff going on to cut Ghoul. Like the Gormons are pretty similar, but synergize better with Mischievous Mystic nonsense. Kind of like these 3 cuts. We have double Gormon working with Mystic, we have Think Twice working with Mystic, we have Sailor working with Mystic. So I don't think I need the Strix Lookout to go with it. I don't really feel like I need a Pilfer in a triple rat deck, although Pilfer is selective discard. You get to choose what they have to discard instead of them, but still runs into pretty big issues of being a really bad draw, like in the late game, but good in your opening hand. Hungry Ghoul, I think, is the most questionable of these cuts. I could see cutting Soul Caller over it, Meteor Golem over it, something like that. But I think Pilfer and Lookout are perfectly safe cuts there. But I'll cut the Ghoul as well. This looks like a solid little blue-black deck here. We'll have to see if this plays any better than the last one, being full streamlined, no Chandra, no third color splash. We'll see. Without further ado, let's head into the gameplay and see how far this one takes it. Alright, here we are on the play for game 1. Just going to start curving these little 1/1s out. Go Sailor on 3. Draw the blue source so I can play that now and Backwater on 3 and Sailor. Play a spell every single turn. Three-color deck over there, blue, red, green. There's Ruby for mana as well as a 2 toughness blocker. They're going to poke us for 1 instead of hold off the creatures. Fine by me. Just going to bolt the bird here. Keep them off of a 4-drop next turn. Keep them off of their second green, their second red if they don't draw more lands here. Or don't have more lands here. Could have Refute up here, I guess, off of the second blue as the play. And they do not. I think this board state calls for us to just get as aggressive as possible and roll out the zombie, but I am very tempted to just pay all of the mana to draw a card off Sailor. Make sure we get some value out of it before it dies to something. Okay, 3/3 flying blocker here. They can flash back instants or sorceries from grave, so they could go untap, play a removal spell, attack, flash back the removal spell. That would be pretty gnarly. I don't think Burglar Rat is great right now against that, so I just want to go Sailor, and I'm going to do it right now so that if we hit a land, we get to play it now. That way, if we hit a land every single turn, we are still playing Meteor Golem 3 turns from now, instead of, if I activated this during their end step, I would not have played my 5th land turn 5, and we would fully miss a land drop. Whip Protection, the business person. The business person. I was going to read its name off, but I couldn't because they changed its name. What is this called? The Soul Shackled Zombie. Again, I'm not feeling great about Burglar Rat here. I'm gonna draw again. Arbiter Row is solid. Nice big flyer. And the legitimate business person's a great creature to sacrifice to it. Good lord, is our opponent stabilizing. Now they gain 1 draw card every turn. Flashback something every turn with the Sphinx. Alright, well, we are certainly missing our lands here. We go Blood Thief here to buff up. Say Blood Thief plus Rat, or draw 1 trying to hit those lands. I mean, again, the Blood Thief and the Rat aren't really even that significant. If I do draw land off Sailor, I can play a Rat now and know I can Arbiter or Meteor Golem next turn, which are really the very important cards here. Okay, thank goodness. We hit a land on that one. Drop the Burglar Rat. Holy rares, Batman Sylvan Scavenging has arrived. So they get a 3/3 every turn? Oh no, they need to put a +1/+1 counter down first. They have to have a 4/4 before they start making 3/3s. Draw 4 off Lunar Insight. Come on, top deck land. Come on, top deck land. Put the counter on Techova. Put it on Techova. Oh, because I wanted to go land, blow up Techova, attack. That could still be the play here. I think it is, because Techova's gaining life and drawing a card each turn, but now they will still have a big enough creature for scavenging. You got for 1 blue. Oh, they're on Spectral Sailor. Sure, Sailor for Sailor. Go to 5. Snarled Colony. Mild-mannered Librarian. Attack with the Sphinx. Draw a card off Fleeting Distraction. Oh, they're just going to hold their mana up instead. Really don't like that. That means a likely Essence Scatter here. If I attack all, we are getting 2 creatures in, which is still not lethal off of the lose 2 from Arbiter. Let's see if I can't rip some interaction out of their hand with a double discard here. Okay, well, if they have the scatter, they have the scatter. Can't really bait it out now. I played the rat first to try, but did not happen. Let's see. They do not have the scatter. Mischievous Mystic is a little late. He's got the Spirit. It's a theoretical put them to 1. The worst case scenario that I can think of here isn't even that awful, which is like bounce somebody or destroy somebody. It's like, okay, I still ping, and it's not like these are doing too much for me on blocks. I guess if Librarian survives this, they would have a lethal crackback with a removal spell as well. Okay, it's Fleeting Distraction. Cool. I mean, not cool. If they didn't have Fleeting Distraction, then just the 1/1 flyer alone would be lethal next turn, but alas, it is not. They still can't afford to attack with Sphinx now, though. Or Arbiter kills them. Well, we're dead. Oh, I guess we're not, because Scavenging is an end step trigger. They actually punted here. We would have been dead if they put the counter on the Ceratops, because all of their creatures with counters on them have trample. But now if they don't draw something good, we do get the two turn kill. So they got a top deck here. Because I'd have been dead to trample if they put a counter on Ceratops thanks to Gnarled Colony's ability. And I guess I could double check if they can. Yeah, they could put it on any creature. So they could have put it on Ceratops. But to be fair, I also forgot Colony was giving other creatures trample until they did that ability. And 10, 11. I'm dead to Giant Growth if I block like this, so we just do this. Witness Protection is not enough. Our 1/1 Flying Insect still gets there. And there's the concession from our opponent. A very, very close game and a very lucky one. We were scrapping over here trying to beat their very powerful deck. Good stuff from our opponent, but just that one punt rips them out of contention. Had they put the counter on Ceratops, we would be dead. But luckily just enough to fight through the Sphinx and the Sylvan scavenging there. Start things off 1-0, heading into game 2. Here we are now for game 2. I'm pretty sure we just need to mulligan this because we don't have the double blue for these refutes. And we also don't have any fuel for the Gourmand. There are a lot of draws in the deck that would be really bad for this hand. Okay, this is the same hand, but now I haven't eaten alive. Awkward as it is not bad enough to mull down to 5. Witness protection the Gourmand. Alright, well, we've got our eaten alive fuel. We are on all land draws so far. Three Scourge. I can eaten alive that and save the refute, especially top decking another eaten alive. That has ward too, so I can't eaten alive it without another creature to sack. That is an incredible draw. Spectral Sailor's really, really good here if they don't have a counter spell specifically. That is so good for me, they tap out. Now even if they do have the counter spell, we get the double draw at minimum. Oh my god, and we burglar at one of their cards here. Sure, I'm willing to take a Tolarian Terror hit here to guarantee more Spectral Sailor value. Okay, now I can just Soul Caller back the Sailor in a pinch. Not drawn the 7th mana to eat alive the Tolarian Terror without sacking something. What are they holding up here? I guess maybe they already played their land last turn, I don't remember. But otherwise, you'd think they would think twice again during their turn if they hadn't played a land. But they probably just already played a land for turn. So then, like, even if they drew another land, I'll think twice, it doesn't matter. There they go, they found the witness protection for our legitimate business person. Can blow up the witness protection. I think I'm in a good position to just blow up the colony though. And bash. Shriek Mass is a good one. That plays really well with our Soul Caller too. Just milled the second Gourmand, so that doesn't really change anything. Big Fin Bouncer, there goes the token. Soul Caller back Meteor Golem. And that is game. Alright, here we are for game number 3. We're 2-0 right now. Just run out all our little expendable creatures. Another Ruby deck. Cool. Not eat a live Ruby this time. Well, that's disgusting. Elvish Grower to get back the discard we forced them to do. Affectionate Indrik is also very nice. 2-for-1 later, and they can haste it out with that Cavalry. We are on Flood over here. 7 lands. They're still 2 mana away from Indrik, so not this turn. There's a reach creature that gives them a 1/1 every time they play a land, though. I'm surprised they haste that. That is an easy trade for us. But I guess they do have enough creatures that this is quite a wide swing for a lot of pressure. Holy Lands. Well, we have exactly 1 play. We can play a blocker, which is only going to be a 2/3 currently, or we can draw 1 card. We're kind of dead either way. We just really needed to draw removal for this kind of matchup, and instead we found lands. I don't think we can stabilize from here, but we'll see. Just play Indrik, blow up Shriek Mass. 2 1/1s into the Cerberus, take 6, go to 5. Probably should have sent in Sailor, because I doubt I'm blocking with it this turn. Oh right, they haste out the Indrik too. Yeah, no, we're just dead. These are just not the right draws for this matchup. Yeah, okay. Well, not an unwinnable matchup, but certainly an unwinnable game. That will be 2-1 heading into game number 4. This is a very nice start here. We've got the Sage into the Gourmand, into the Refute. With the right colors for it and everything. And then a Zombie on turn 4. With a curve like this, I think we refute anything they do on turn 3, even if it's not that significant. Just so I curve out and then tap out for the 4-drop on 4 as well. Sadly, they did have the Burst Lightning for the Gourmand, which considerably weakens it, but yeah, refute that Thespian and then play Zombie. Goblin Borders, just a 3/2, but that still trades into Soul Shackled, so I'll bake that off. Good top deck. I'll play this land. We have a 6 and 7 drop in the deck, so it could be important to not miss land drops. If we hit like Spectral Sailor or something, play it, draw a card, play land 6 in the same turn next turn is a possibility. Alright, we'll rip a card from their hand and trade into Raider. This is good for me. More than happy to get a flyer here. And hit for 4 at the same time. So they have a raid trigger they really needed to accomplish, apparently. That's why they did not take the zombie trade. Gorehorn Raider kill the 4-2, sure, and then slowly die to flyers, hopefully. Slowly, pretty quickly, it's a 3-turn clock. Okay, it's a 2-turn clock off Soul Collar. Take the Soul Shackled Zombie for that ETB damage. Gorehorn Raider is not enough against the Soul Shackled Zombie. That is lethal. All revealed. That is now 3-1 heading into game number 5. Alright, here we are on the play for game number 5 now. Awkwardly a little tempted to run out the Infestation Sage over the Burglar Rat here, because I care less if it dies on attacks, and I really want to attack with Blood Thief coming out on 3. Should probably just be mana efficient though. And if they set up a board state where Rat cannot attack and it trigger Blood Thief, we can just play Sage and Rat. Burglar Rat for Burglar Rat. Perfectly balanced. Alright, Burglar Rat for Burglar Rat. And then Burglar Rat for Burglar Rat? No, we had to do the 3 for 3. It would be so funny. Sure. They eat our vampire friend. And we start infesting. Micromancer, that is an excellent value play. Can tutor out an Eaten Alive or a Stab. And there's an Eaten Alive. I was really hoping we'd find the blue here to just start holding up Refute, but don't draw on anything relevant, so we'll just Eaten Alive the blocker. You. Blue always great against tokens. That's pretty bad for me with the ability to come back. It comes back even bigger as well. Awkward draw from Refute. Very awkward draw from Refute. Having to mill one of our removal spells there. Looking for my threats here. That is not a threat, but I still play it out in case we hit the Spectral Sailor. And I can play and activate Spectral Sailor, still play land 7. I guess I don't need to play land 6 out yet, right? But I definitely needed to play the 5th. Okay, this I can absolutely hold. Because now if we top deck Meteor Golem, I can play it and play Meteor Golem, and if I don't top deck Meteor Golem, I have a card to discard to refutes. I kind of need to play the 3/2 flyer to this board just to poke them with, so like I get the greatest reanimate here, but I get the flying threat onto the board, which is what I've been looking for. We've got the stab for it. It's still 2-for-1s them though. Got rid of a stab and an eaten alive, and I have a 1/1 left in the exchange. Another Micromancer. They have a really, really nice Micromancer deck. Double eaten alive stab. Oh, they didn't have one to tutor that time though. Sadness. I think I actually run out this Evolving Wilds and thin the deck here. Plunder's pretty good here. I'll look at the top 3, put 1 back, and mill the rest. Or if they all suck, you can mill all 3. Mill 2 lands. Killed Micromancer over Plunderer because we can trade 2 rats into Plunderer. EU. Nighthawk is beautiful. Do not mill Gorehound, do not mill Gorehound, do not mill Gorehound. Okay, we didn't mill Gorehound. We did mill Mischievous Mystic, which I'm also a little sad about, but Gorehound is still the best draw in the deck. Or that's not what it's called. It's called Arbiter of Woe. What is Gorehound? What am I getting mixed up with? Why do I think this thing's called Gorehound? I mean, it looks like a Gorehound to me. Yep. Well, you could chump 1. No, it's still dead. 1 flying blocker, exile that. Chomp, take 2. Alright, not much to say there. Kind of just a top deck war kind of mirror match. They just found their good threats quicker than we did. Nothing we could really do gameplay wise, I feel. That was more of like a drafting, deck construction kind of game, as well as luck of the draw. They theoretically had a little bit more in terms of top end finishers and threats and stuff because they drew theirs faster than me, but it could also just mean that they drew all of their top end and finishers before we did. No way to really tell. But that is 3-2 heading to game 6. Game 6, very awkward mana, but double think twice to try to find the black source here. Really powerful spells in the hand, so I'm going to keep it gambling on that think twice. So we're on a, what, like 9-9 split? Actually 10-10 split. Because we have Backwater and Evolving Wilds. So there's 10 swamps, 10 black sources in the deck. Okay, I mean, there's also just the chance of not drawing any lands at all, which would be awful for any 2-land opener. There we go. Just trigger this Mystic. Ditch the 7-drop and then just start spamming spells. Big Thin Bouncer on the Mystics. Fair enough. To keep the token permanently. Okay, spamming spells was a slight overstatement. We've drawn still just 1 land all game. But we can play 3... No, I can play 2 1-drops in 1 turn. I don't have double black. Really gotta get to Bake into a Pie mana. Sure. So both already got their value. I mean, the token was free and the rat came with the discard. There's the Bake into a Pie mana. Kinda want to run out double Sage first. Take another 3 from Lookout, but reset up those bouncer blocks. Alright, well, there's an Eaten Alive. Sacrifice fodder now. No bouncer attack because they don't want to give us the insect tokens. I'm gonna eat an alive so I can hold up these refutes. Also get another flyer here. Actually sacking a sage instead of a business person. To have more going on in the sky. I mean, I've got the removal for it, so I don't need to specifically refute, but I should still do that while I have the mana for it. Gormon's a lot of card draw on this board. The rest of the hand is really important, I feel. It's kind of a rough refute draw. Yeah, I don't think we go for Gormon when we already have the Spectral Sailor on the board. Have they played their land for turn? I don't know. I'm going to refute it. Because if they haven't played their land for turn, we really do need to refute. What is going on with the Gormons? Ka-ching. Ka-ching, I say. Ka-ching. Ooh, that snare spinner to try to stop all this damage. We're gonna have to just bake that into a pie instead of the big fin. Boop. Our Arbiter is in the moon. Take 5 here. Go to 7 after eating this food. That's potentially very rude. Uncharted Voyage a token. Sure. It's our chumper for the bouncer too, which is sick. That's a good draw. Wow. Perfect mana for it. GG from opponent. Scary game there. We kept a risky hand, and that risk really came to rear its ugly head in the early game. We just didn't even hit a third land on turn 3, let alone a black source. Missed another early land draw, so a lot of early pressure there. That was pretty scary, but luckily we drew into our lands from there on and managed to turn that board around. Really good work from Spectral Sailor as well in the late game, making up for all the early lost value, giving us a lot of late game card draw and damage, and good stuff. We are 4-2 now for a positive record this draft no matter what, heading into game number 7. Hungry Ghoul to start our opponent off. We are on the draw this game. They curve out with Hungry Ghoul into Hold Up Refute probably, which is fine for us because we're also just holding up Refute. If they go for like a stab or something, that'd be awesome for us. Yeah, because then we get to trigger Mystic, which we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So very happy I went for stab there. Get that Mystic trigger. They play Big Fin Bouncer to kill the token anyway, though. No creatures in grave for Soul Shackled Zombie, sadly. I can't just not play it, though. So here's just a 4-2, no text. Feel somewhat obligated to take this trade on the draw. Yeah. Well, we might both be flooded here. It looks to be the case. I mean, if they had any Eaten Alives in their hand, they would certainly have used them on this Mystic. Okay, so it's likely counter spells here, so they counter the Soul Caller. Can't do much about that. I could go for Eaten Alive first in case it's Refute. So I care less if Eaten Alive gets countered. And it is still probably bad enough for them to cast Refute here, if they have it. Alright, we'll get Mythic.
You get used to the smell.
But that is why
What a drag.
I was only okay with doing the Eaten Alive thing because I had a second one. Do you have the Refute? They have an instant that they can cast when we have a spell in the stack, so yes, but I no longer have any bait for it, so here goes. Get out of the way for any of our top decks to be castable. Like our Arbiter of Woe. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, I probably should have flunged with the Sages. I think we're actively just turning Sages into Flyers. I should have flunged with them last turn as well. I don't really think they have a good play here. Either way they play it is not good for them. Like, they just take the damage, in which case Sage is essentially already a Flyer, or they turn it into a Flyer so I can damage them every turn. That's an incredible top deck. 5/5 Flyer, draw a minimum of 2 more cards as well. Alright. And here's where our deck is going to fall short. We are all commons and uncommons here. It's going to be a little difficult for us to fight our way through Liliana and Curator of Destinies. So, yeah, we lose the mirror match against opponents that did manage to get bombs, sadly. I don't think we have any outs to this. Never say never in a game of Magic. They could have 5 lands on top of their deck right now, and then we could top deck the removal for Curator, and then the game progresses naturally from there, and we have a chance of killing them with insects. But the odds of that are incredibly low. Good lord. Apparently their draws are incredible. They can have Uncharted Voyage, Strix Lookout, and Think Twice, 3 relevant spells, or apparently the 2-card pile is better. Because you wouldn't throw this up revealed unless the 2-card pile is better than it. But what can I do about that? Have your 2 cards. I guess they probably have a 3rd rare here, and we've got just a land off the top. Can't attack it at all any more than it. They have the 5/5 flyer. Vampire Soul Caller. See, yeah, that is really good there for Big Fin Bouncer. Okay. It's Arbiter, but I'm pretty sure our friend is too late now. Does not beat a Curator. We get to see what their other card was, though. Bacon to a Pie, Soul Caller. Pretty good ones. The Think Twice being in the 3-card pile is nice as well, because then no matter what, they have access to Think Twice, either just a flashback or they get to hardcast and flashback. Card's pretty good with Curator. This is why we didn't play the Swamp. Yep, I'm quite dead. No two ways about it. I literally have to go trade Chump Chump. It's the only way to not die right now. Alright. Just got outclassed in card quality there. We did not open rares, and they did, and so Curator rips us to shreds. So one last look at this deck. Nice solid 4-3. I think that's about to be expected. I think it could do a bit better for sure. Could also have done a bit worse with unluckier matchups and unluckier draws. But yeah, sadly, I mean, our rares were Giada that we kind of got pushed off of with how open the blue-black path was. And then obviously that pack 3 Chandra that really just didn't pan out. There was one red duel to try to get her in there, so I don't think we really could have had a particularly bomby deck at all here. So we just played a nice, consistent archetype, plenty of good interaction, solid curve here. Could use a little bit more in terms of finishers. We certainly saw that in our second loss in that mirror match. But I think the biggest flaw of the deck is something we couldn't really control at all, that you generally can't control at all in your drafts, which is we just don't have any good rares or mythics. We don't have any bombs for this deck. So just ends up being a solid average version of blue-black here. And it gets an average run as a result, 4-3 to end off the Foundations drafts this time around. A little bit of a disappointing flashback draft season, but it is what it is. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.